Hey guys, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create some touch controls so you can play this game on a mobile device. Now, what we're going to do, because this is a mobile device game, we're going to add a touch control, just like what we did with the keyboard. Okay, so we're going to insert new object, and we're going to use the touch input. Right, now we need to create some buttons for the screen. And by the way, I'm going to, just for this example, I'm going to move my platform character and my platforms to the top. I'm going to put my buttons here. Okay, now I'm going to create 3 buttons. I'm going to use, very simple, I'm going to create a left arrow. Let's go back. We need to choose the color. So, right, so we're going to have, so we're going to use some lines and use some paint. So there is our left arrow. Let's crop the transparent bits. Okay, so there is a left arrow. We're going to put that there. And by the way, on the right hand side, I'm going to rename it to give it a proper name. So I'm going to call it left arrow. And I'm going to clone. That means I'm going to make a copy of this. And I'm going to, I think I can rotate it like that. Okay, and then this is going to be the right arrow. So I don't have to draw another arrow again, or triangle, whatever. Okay, so we've got left, we've got right, and we also need a button for jump as well. So, same thing, we add the sprite. Now, just for the jump button, I'm just going to have a square, cut the edges, and I'll just put a letter J, just so we know that it's J for jump. So we've got to place the buttons in the right place. Remember, this is going to be on your phone or your iPad, so you want to make sure that it's in a place that's going to be comfortable. But if it's not, we can always change it later. Okay, anyway, we'll just put it like that. Now, we need to start programming these buttons. Now, you can actually touch the buttons with your mouse on a computer. Right now, I'm clicking on it, but it's not working because we haven't programmed it yet. So, let's go back to the game. We're going to go to Event Sheet 1. This is the program that I did in the last tutorial. Now, I'm going to say, so we're going to program the right arrow and the left arrow. So we're going to put the program here. So for this one, we're going to make this an OR block, and we're going to make this an OR block. So we're going to say, if we press the right arrow on the keyboard or the right arrow on the screen, then it will walk like that. So we need to add another condition. We want to say touch. Is it touching? Okay, it's touching object. And the object that we have to touch is the right arrow. Okay. So, if my finger is touching the right arrow, it will do this movement. Similarly, with the left, okay, do the same thing. Add another condition, left arrow, touch is touching an object, which is the left arrow. And there we go. Now, let's run that and see if it works. So, if we hold down right, hold down left, okay. It's doing the animation, but there's no movement. Okay, so we need to go back. We need to fix that. So we need to have another piece of code for each direction. So for right arrow, we want to say that when we touch this arrow, we want this character to move right. So simulate control, right, like that. And we want to do exactly the same thing for the left, but simulate the platform movement by pressing left. So let's click on the character, simulate, and then left. That will do. Okay, let's give that a try and see if it works. Okay, so left, right, oops, let's load that again. So, okay, I'm going to touch this. I'm touching this with my mouse, left, right, left, right, left, right. Jump doesn't work because I haven't programmed it yet. So I'm going to do that. So I need to add. So I need to add another one. So let's say when the key is down, the well, for jump we're going to use. It's usually sometimes it's up, or sometimes it's another button. All right. So we want this character to. All right. So that, and now. Oh, okay, we need to simulate the movement. So simulate control and jump. Okay, all right, and I'm actually going to take this. I'm going to move that there so it's all together. We need to make this an OR block. You know, we need to add the touch condition for touch. So what happens when we... Oh, and by the way, let's rename that. Let's call it jump button. Right, now let's add the condition. We're going to say if the touch is touching the jump button. Okay, let's give that a try and see if it works. So, right, left, jump. Jump. Okay, great. Okay. Now, you'll notice that I had to add another piece of code here that says on any touch end, because what happens, say I don't have this one, what happens in the game is that if I press the left button and the right button, you'll notice that the character doesn't stop moving. It just keeps going, 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 and going. So, and if I use the keyboard, it will stop. But when I use this, it keeps going. Because we need to say that when we stop touching the buttons on the touch screen, the animation will stop. So we go to touch if the touch ends, and then that will fix the problem. So left, right, and jump. Right. Now, the question is, how are we going to get this onto a mobile phone or an iPad? Well, let me show you. Okay, first we're going to save our project. So file and save. And then we're going to do something special. We're going to export the project as an HTML5 website. So we're going to put this onto the web. And then we're going to call it new project. That's fine. We're going to save it on the desktop, and we're going to export it. Now, just give that a bit of time. Depending on how big or how small your game is, will affect the time it takes to export the project. Okay, now, this tells you that its export is done. Now, all the game content will be in this new project folder here. So all the game stuff is all in there. Now, there's a very special website that we're going to use to host our game. It's called bitballoon.com. And this is free, and it's very simple to use. All you have to do is take this folder with the game and drag it into here. So, again, we take this and we drag it into here. Now, in a few moments, it's going to show our game. So you've got to wait for this. It takes a bit of time. Okay, now here we go. This is what we get. So all we have to do is we can use our tablet or our phone, and we put in this address. We put this address in our phone or our tablet, and then we'll be able to play this game. We can use the buttons, we can use the jump, whatever. We can also click on it. So this is the address that we get, and you should be able to play the game either on a computer. You can use the keyboard on a computer, or you can use your phone by pressing the buttons left, right, and jump. So there you go. That is how you do it, and that's a bit balloon. So good luck and see you soon. Goodbye.